Hello, and welcome to my channel. It's the Network Specialist. Please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Everything I will discuss in this live is in my very own opinion, used for entertainment purposes only. Today, I will be doing a recap of King's Court Season 1, Episode 5. Now, let's get into it. So, whew, right out the gate in this episode called Royal Dating Pool, that is shared something that was very deep, very sad, and oof, I don't know. If you know what I'm talking about, let me know if you would have personally shared your story. Sometimes when we share our story and our journey, it's to inspire somebody else, help somebody else that might be going through the same thing. So I get why he chose to share, but oh my gosh, it was a lot. So that is share that his mom was raped at 11 years old and she had him at 12 years old. And I believe once he found out that, maybe once he was older, that happened to his mom. Hey, Elisa Triplet, thank you so much for being here. I haven't seen you in a minute. Once he found out, I believe that that's what happened to his mom. Maybe for him, that made a lot of things make a lot of sense. And he said that his mom is his hero. Like she did the best that she could. Being a single parent, whatever the case may be, having kids at such a young age. And maybe she's his hero because she decided to keep him. You understand? Because if his mom didn't make that decision to keep him, he wouldn't be here today and he wouldn't be the amazing man that he is today. So maybe he's just thankful for his mom, for, deciding to, you know, keep him in spite of. And as I watch this show, like I've already made it clear, if I was on this show, which I would never go on this type of show, but if I were to go on a show like this, Thaddeus would definitely be the person that I would be going after just because for me, he checks all the boxes. Okay. Like he's such a sweet and genuine man. Like even when he calls the ladies out, I love that because when it comes to the woman that he, is going to date, I agree. Like, I don't want you being petty. I don't want us arguing in front of people. I feel the same way. Like, because sometimes people like to see you show out, they like to see you and your mate arguing. People love drama, and I'm just not the type to give it to you. If I have an issue with my partner, we're going to talk about that when we get home. Like, we're not going to put on a show so that other people can, pillow talk about us and, whatever. Like, I like everything that he stands for at this point. Everybody who he's called out, even the ladies that he called out for being jealous, like, I don't want no jealous man, and I'm not a jealous woman. Okay. So I need my man to be on the same page. Like, me and my ex had this same conversation about jealousy. I wasn't jealous and he's not jealous. So that's why it worked. Like, you know, anytime his friends came around, they needed something, he didn't have a problem with them conversating with me and vice versa, because that really matters in a relationship. You can't be a jealous partner because it's going to cause all kinds of problems. Okay. And Elisa said, Thaddeus is my favorite too. He's very thoughtful. He is. OMG. And I'm going to be honest, I never ever knew who Thaddeus was before he was on this show. Okay. So he wasn't on my radar. So I didn't know him before this show. But I'm glad that I got the opportunity to get to know him through this show because I think he's a great guy. And if we're being honest, I think he's the best catch on this show. Okay. So, with that being said, you know, that was really sad to have to carry, a baby, of your rapist and make the decision to keep the baby at such a young age. Like, he didn't go into details, or anything like that. And Tari actually started almost boohoo crying when Thaddeus shared that. So he did say that he would have a conversation with her a little bit later on because he knew from her reaction that she had been through some type of trauma and he wanted to explore that. So at that point, I was curious to know what Tari had been through as well. So he's going to have that conversation a little bit later. So we'll get into it a little bit later. So Tyson is making a spectacle of all the ladies who are interested in him. Just my opinion. At this point, even the men are laughing at them. The men, Carlos and Thaddeus, are laughing at these ladies because the thing about it is he decided to make this list. Okay. So when it comes time for these ladies to have their private time with him, he's over there hugged up with somebody else. So he's not even abiding by his list that he decided to make. So it's almost at this point like a big joke. And when it comes to Jennifer, this is the one that was matched up with Carlos. Jennifer is supposed to be Carlos's perfect match. I think Tyson needs to sit that one out. He already has enough women on his plate, okay? And the fact that she was not chosen to be your perfect match, you need to leave that one alone. I'm just saying. And I don't blame these men. I will be laughing too. And at the end of the day, they're glad that they're not in Tyson's shoes. That's not a place where they want to be at because I believe that these other men, they came there to find love. Okay. So they don't want their situation to turn into a spectacle like Tyson's. So here's the thing, just like men, some women always focus on who they want instead of who they need. And for me, Tyson Bedford ain't it, okay? And Mama B said Tyson isn't being genuine. He really only cares about snow bunnies. Okay, Mama B's. Gotcha. So hence the reason he's been single for 9 years because I believe that Tyson plays these type of games in real life. This is just not on camera. I believe he plays these games in real life. And even though, he said that he's been single for 9 years, oh, honey, he hooking up. That doesn't mean he hasn't had sex in 9 years. He's hooking up with some ladies. I don't know if Tyson's a hit it or quit it. He seems like he's that type of guy, like he has commitment issues, but we'll see. Like, can't wait to see how this all plays out. But I really do feel like Tyson has changed the dynamics of the show. Instead of it being a fun dating show, all these women are doing is just complaining about Tyson and not making time for them because he's not making time for them. And Elisa said, I do want Carlos to make time for Jennifer. I am not a fan of Janae. Oh my God, Elisa, you are speaking my language. Like, because Jennifer was chosen to be Carlos's perfect match, I want that too. Like, Janae is starting to be very annoying and she's showing all of these signs of jealousy. And you have to keep in mind, they're on a dating show. If you're already showing this, then it's not going to work in real life. These are celebrity men, okay? So there's going to always be women that are going to be after these men, okay? So yes, all of these women, all of they're doing is just complaining about the fact that Tyson is not making time for them. And for me, it's definitely taking away from the show. Maybe it has to do with the fact that these ladies are older than what we are used to seeing, because on most of these dating shows, the cast members are a lot younger. And some of these women are in their early 40s to, 50s, which is typically not what we see on these dating shows. So, because the whole cast of ladies has done nothing but mope around, and I feel like Tyson is having the time of his life. But unfortunately, he has so many women fighting for his attention that he's not able to spend enough quality time with any of these ladies to really get to know them. Now, I'm going to give Felicia, which is the one that said that Tyson was her man, to give her her props, because Felicia is definitely playing to win. She's playing this game how it's supposed to be played. And yes, when she said Tyson is my man, she was like, she was picking. She was picking in these ladies' face, like, oh, I got this in the bag. And that's what she's supposed to do, because she's supposed to make these ladies nervous. She's supposed to put them on edge. She's supposed to make them give up. Okay. And guess what? Cat quit. So, like I said, Felicia is playing the game how it's supposed to be played, because when she made that statement, some of the women felt so insecure, and like Felicia already had it in the bag. That could have been part of the reason why Kat decided to go ahead and quit. And Elisa said, absolutely, she's blocking, but Carlos seems to know that. Tyson is a jerk, but Sarah is not the one. Sarah isn't the one. She also give me jealous tendencies. And if you're, already showing that you're a jealous hearted person when you're on a dating show, he's not your man yet. Okay. So just like Tyson said, if you wanted to call me your man just the same way that Felicia did, you have the right to do that. Like, keep me out of the conversation. You are two ladies that are in a competition. I'm not in a competition. You guys are fighting for my affection. So there's no reason for you to bring this to my attention unless you're weak and you feel inadequate, or Felicia's making you feel some kind of way. So it is what it is. Felicia is playing the game the way that it's supposed to be played. And honestly, I hope Felicia does end up with Tyson. They would make a great, good looking couple. Okay. Now, they need to spend quality time together to see if the connection is deeper than the physical. Because for me, right now, it's just about the physical, because Tyson really has not had enough time to spend quality time with Felicia, even though she's the one that's definitely on his radar. So she's probably gotten the most attention, but it's not going to be the same attention that you would get when it's just like a one-on-one, instead of everybody sitting around looking at you to see what you're talking about, to see if you're going to be affectionate, just private conversations that they need to have with each other to figure out what their life, what their goals are in life, just things that you need to know before you enter into a relationship. You need to know if Tyson is going to check off all the boxes, and vice versa. Okay. So Carlos seems to think that, you know, he's being a chicken because he's not checking for Jennifer, even though she was said to be his perfect match. Carlos, stop playing. Like, Jennifer is not checking for you. Okay. I am sorry, but Jennifer is not checking for you, Carlos. She's actually in the process of playing hard to get for the man she really wants, which is Tyson. Jennifer is physically attracted to Tyson. Okay. But I like the way that Jennifer is playing the game as well. She's doing something that a lot of these women don't know how to do, which is play hard to get. Okay. She's kind of hanging out with the other ladies and she's just waiting to see which one of these men are going to approach her. And Tyson, obviously, he's trying to hold back because he knows that she was matched up with Carlos. So Carlos is the one that's slipping. Okay. Even though, you know, she's going to be willing to entertain Carlos just because this matchmaker with an 86% match rate said that they're a perfect match. So she's going to give Carlos that opportunity. And Carlos is so, I don't know if he's just so wooed, by Janae or he's intimidated by Janae because Janae did show him that other side. So maybe he's afraid that he's going to lose Janae if he tries to entertain Jennifer, but he's losing sight of what he came there to do. Okay. So is it me or is Tari being a mean girl? Because none of the men are checking for her. And Tari is the model, the one with the short haircut, because she's starting a lot of conflict with the ladies. And a lot of that is going to make sense when we feel like that she's had a lot of trauma in her life. So maybe her personality developed that way because she's just not happy with herself in her life. And then I was also thinking that because I was wondering, why haven't these guys eliminated Tari yet? And then I said to myself, maybe they're keeping her around to do just what she's doing, cause conflict, you know, make these ladies get out of character. Because honestly, if Tori wasn't doing what she was doing, maybe everything would just go so smoothly and these guys would never get to see the real side of these ladies. But by Tari coming after them and causing conflict, these guys get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly when it comes to these ladies. Like, for instance, what happened with Ariel and Tari. And it caused Tyson to pull Ariel to the side and have a conversation with her because he told Ariel, I'm the one that said it. I'm the one that said that I was thinking about creating a list. So he couldn't understand why she was going back and forth with Tari when he was the one that said it. And that he made a great point there. And even when he brought it up to Elisa, she got where he was coming from. So Tyson decided to pull Kat to the side and have a conversation with her. And I'm glad that Tyson stepped up to put Kat out of her misery because it was just starting to be too much. Like, girl, you can always leave. Like, if you feel like this man is not giving you any attention, maybe he's just not that into you. So do like the other, few ladies did and leave. That's it. That's all. Because you're definitely not on his list of the top three. So, that was a very mature conversation that both Tyson and Kat had. I like the fact that she just basically told him, I'm ready to go home. She said, but she didn't want to be looked at some kind of way for making the decision to go home. Maybe she didn't want to feel like a quitter, but at the end of the day, if you feel comfortable, you know, pursuing a man, because that's what these ladies have to do. they have to pursue these men, and every woman don't feel comfortable pursuing a man. Like, I don't feel comfortable pursuing a man. I need my man to pursue me. I get it. So just leave. That doesn't make you a bad person. That's not a bad look. You tried it, it wasn't for you, and you just bow out gracefully. And at the end of the day, I'm sure they exchange numbers so that, they can keep in touch, and she can become a notch on Tyson's belt in real life, because that's probably what it is. He's just not that into her. And if she communicates with him outside of this show, she's probably just going to become a notch on his belt, like the other women that he's been dating over the 9 years. Okay. And let me say this. When it comes to Tyson, two things can be happening here. And this is me giving Tyson the benefit of the doubt. Okay. Two things could be going on. Either, like Liliana said, and remember, he eliminated her. Like Liliana said, Tyson is not ready to find love. That could be one scenario. Or Tyson already knows who his match is in his head, but he's playing the role of a good host to make sure that everyone has a great experience. And if it's the latter, if it's him playing the role of a great host, I'm okay with that too. Because some men do that. Some women do that. For example, my ex was that type of person. Anytime we entertain, or if he was helping his friends to entertain, he made sure that everybody at that event, party, whatever the case may be, had a great time. And if he noticed that there was a single lady there, he was going to make sure that he refilled her drink. You know what I'm saying? And usually that goes over well, because remember, I'm not a jealous person. Now, it really didn't become an issue until this one particular time, when he was, him and his friend, guys were having a barbecue it's an annual barbecue that they used to have every single year. So obviously I was at home. So he went early to be on the grill, whatever the case may be. And so when I did arrive, because I usually come in later after everybody starts to arrive, when the food is done or whatever the case may be. And when I got there, this young lady told me, tell your husband that he was doing a great job of keeping my cup filled before you got here. So, that's what she said to me. And I thought that was just like very messy. But of course, I'm not going to let anybody see me sweat. So I'm pretty sure I told my then husband, you slipping. She said that you was keeping her cup full, her drink full up until I got here. So you need to get on your job, because even when we host, he do the same thing. So I know that that's something that he does. So I'm giving Tyson the benefit of the doubt, and maybe that's what he's doing. Okay, because I see him sitting with Tari. I see him sitting with a lot of ladies that I know he's not into. Okay. So I just feel like Tyson is trying to be a great host for the show, and for the ladies who might not be getting any attention. And if that's what Tyson is doing, then I'm all for it, because I feel like everybody should have a great experience from coming on this show. He knows that he'll never see these ladies again. And if he can make their day, their month, their year by just sitting down and having a conversation with Tyson Beckford, why not? Okay. That's probably the good guy in Tyson. And Elisa said, Tyson is scared to take himself off the market. I also thought that he really is shy, and playing around is his cover. He said that. He said that flirting and, all of these antics is what he does, you know, I guess when he gets nervous, or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I think that's kind of like his nervous tick, or whatever the case may be. I don't think Tyson is a bad guy. Um, I just think that he doesn't know how to entertain a woman, if I'm being honest. Like, he doesn't really know how that's supposed to go and what that's supposed to look like. That might be because he's never ever been in a serious relationship. So maybe he doesn't know what women expect from him. And it seems like he's a big kid, he's very playful. So the person that he matches up with needs to be very playful. And I think that's where Felicia's going to fall short because remember, Felicia said, I'm a grown ass woman. Like, like she don't play no games. So even though they look like a great looking couple, I don't think that, when it comes to the deeper issues in relationships, that they're a match. And I don't know who that could be for him. It might be Jennifer. Because let me tell you one thing about Jennifer. Jennifer is not going to pursue a man. Tyson needs a woman that he has to pursue because, in my opinion, he's used to women pursuing him. And Elisa said, I think you're right about Tyson. Yes. So he needs a Jennifer type. He really does. So it would not shock me to see Tyson go home with Jennifer because Jennifer is very is she's very effortless when she comes to just like her swag, her sex appeal, and I can see where these because even though Thaddeus never had a lot of conversation with her, he even had a lot of great things to say about Jennifer. But he already knew that the other two guys were going to be after her. So Jennifer has managed to get the attention of all three of these guys. Okay. So that says a lot about her. So again, um, I believe if anybody can do it, Jennifer can be the one that can pull Tyson in and make Tyson fall in love. And that's just my opinion. Because just from judging the type of ladies that Tyson is keeping around, like, I believe that Tyson could definitely be looking at a woman that's not black. Okay. And Mama Bees, she hinted on that. And I totally agree. Of course, he's not going to shut a black woman out because he doesn't want that look. Like he doesn't like black women. So he's keeping his options over. He even said it. He says he feel like he's a kid in a candy store. He has all of the different flavors. Okay. And I love that for him. Like you're supposed to keep your options open. So I believe that Tyson might end up with a woman outside of Felicia or just a black woman in general because I believe that Tyson is not going to choose a black woman because just like Felicia said, she's a grown ass woman and she's going to put Tyson in his place. And that's why some men run away from black women because black women are going to hold you accountable. And some men don't want to be held accountable. Okay. So I could see him, falling for Jennifer, even though I feel like Jennifer is going to also hold him accountable, but she's going to do it in a different manner. Like it's not going to come off as aggressive, it's just going to come off as he's going to want to do it because he's just that into her that she's probably going to be able to get Tyson to do anything that she wants him to do. It's the fact that she had on that dress that was all the way up to her bottom, those tattoos, that Asian look. A lot of men are into the black Asian look. Okay. We know that. P. Diddy, a lot of his women have that look. So a lot of black men are into that look. So guys, let me wrap this up. So again, I believe that, Tyson's going to keep up with all of these ladies after the show and, in real life. So, yes, I can definitely see Tyson just being a great host, just trying to give each and every one of these ladies a great experience on the show. And the best part of this show is the elimination mixer slash dinner for me, because I love the strategy that these men, these kings are going with. I already knew that Ariel and Sarah were going to be there at the, elimination mixer. And I also knew that Ariel and Sarah wasn't going home. So the strategy that these men have is when they're into somebody, if they see signs of jealousy or whatever the case may be, or these women, try to call them out on anything, they're going to make them come to this elimination dinner just to put them back in their place, just to humble these ladies, to let them know you don't have this in the bag. Okay. You need to step up your game. So this has been all of these three kings strategy up until this point. And after watching what's still to come, all I can say is wow, wow, wow. Like, it's just getting better and better. But again, I love the elimination mixers and dinners. And Elisa said, thank you so much for reviewing this show, so I have someone to talk to. Absolutely, Alyssa. I love this show. I love the fact that we got some grown men for a change. Like, usually when we watch dating shows, the men are so young. You know what I'm saying? We can't really relate. Like, we can't even say, if I was on this show, I would date this person. But with this show, King's Court, I can absolutely do that. And I can let you guys know who my choice would be when it comes to these three kings. So yes, I am very excited to see how all of this plays out. And let me tell you, Janae, she's something serious too. Even though we don't necessarily like her, Elisa, she's still playing the game the way that it's supposed to be played. So shout out to her too. And I'm going to go ahead and end on that note. Guys, if you did not like the video on your way in, please like the video on your way out. And if you just happen to be catching the replay, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so that you know each and every time I upload a video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and bye for now.